Hi everyone, my name is Andrei, and today I will be talking about building 3D models for game development or whatever. I'm not really a game developer. I do create some games for fun in my spare time, and basically that's why this topic is interesting to me. So in my spare time I created this app, Figurix.com. It's live, you can check it out. Basically, you can see on the slide what it does. It just, you upload your selfie or photo or whatever, and it will create a 3D model for you. So let's do a quick presentation of live preview of the game. Let's go to Figurix.com. Launch the app, and yeah, here I am. We'll delete that one. So who wants to be my lovely assistant? Who wants to become a 3D model? Come here. Let's take a photo. I'll send it to Telegram and we'll show how it works.
What should I do?
Nothing, just smile. Yeah, that's good enough. So, here. Now just press create, choose a file. Who do you want to be? I don't know what's that, but let's type it in. Actually, if it doesn't understand, then it's gonna be just a random something.
Make him Batman.
Batman, okay. Batman costume. We'll leave the seat empty, so it generates random. And yeah, it went. Whew. Because like it generates at home on my local PC. So yeah, if something breaks there, then it doesn't work. It will take, I don't know how much, maybe 20 seconds or something. But in the meantime, okay, we already have a sketch. Yeah, it kind of does look like a Batman. It's an adult version of a Batman. So yeah, let's create the. So the first step is to create the sketch. Then you approve or disapprove it. We'll approve it, and it will start creating the 3D model. So you can look at all the different models that other people have created so far, and the first ones that I created, like that one, Super Mario. So yeah, and you can. They are all already rigged, so you can add some animations to them, make them breakdowns and stuff like that. Yeah, you can. Okay, it's rigging, so it already created a model. Now it will add a skeleton to the model so that the animations can work on it, and then we'll add it to the stage and see. What else? Someone created a
Can we see Alejandro or this Alexandro Batman?
just here success. So it created it. Let's add him. Here it is. So what do you think? Can we use it in a game?
How to export it?
So you select here the guy. It's not yet here. It will appear in.
Maybe until it appears to actually.
So you can click. Yeah, you can click just download it, and it will get downloaded the model. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, let's get back to the presentation before we run out of time. Let me present myself. My name is Andrei Sbitnev. I'm a full-stack developer, TypeScript developer at Xdata Group. Here's my LinkedIn, link to my LinkedIn account. If you want to connect and chat and ask questions or whatever, be free. I'm open. My main work I do in Xdata is I work on comply control, which is a transaction monitoring system which uses AI to check if the transaction is sanctioned or fraudulent or whatever. And also, as we use AI a lot, our department, we started using it in different other products. So one time I got a task from Mikhail to create a background replacement solution for basically for e-commerce, where you can just upload an image and it will replace a background, but not just replace, but make it like seamless. So that's the end result. I was looking on the internet for some APIs, maybe someone's already doing it. I didn't find anything. Maybe now there is something, I don't know. So the solution was I came across this ConfUI, which basically lets you create workflows using AI models. And there's a bunch of workflows that people share on the internet. So I looked through them. I got the solution to the task, and at the same time, I saw a bunch of interesting different workflows that gave me an idea to do this app. So why Figurix? First of all, I thought why not create some app where you can quickly prototype models for 3D models for your games or projects, but then there's a bunch of other solutions that already do that. So maybe create a social media experience where, for example, on Facebook, you can just use your photo, create a model, and then play some games or whatever. But basically, I don't have the resources to create such a solution, so I thought I'd start with a proof of concept, and that's it. Basically, that's a proof of concept. But the main issue was also, or the main idea behind it is, I really got into using ConfUI, and I wanted to dive deeper into it, so I came up with complicated tasks for me. And the best way to learn something is by doing it, right? So the app workflow. So you already saw it. Basically, user uploads a photo, we generate a sketch, and then we send the sketch to the image to 3D AI that generates the final 3D model. Now let's the AI tools. So the not AI tools are like Nest.js on the back end and Babylon.js on the front end. I'm a JS developer, so I use it everywhere. And but about the AI tools, so I use ConfUI, Stable Diffusion, and Tripo AI. So ConfUI. What is that? It's an open source app or workflow app that you launch locally on your server or on your PC if you have an NVIDIA card, or maybe even on a Mac, I guess. You can, it has a bunch of nodes. So Each node has an input and an output. You connect them one to another, and each node does something to your image. So it either uses generative AI, or it can like crop it or whatever. But we'll talk about it. I'll talk about it a bit later, because the biggest part of the presentation is about Conf UI. So stable diffusion, I think you all used either stable diffusion or something similar. Basically, you just enter a prompt and it will generate an image for you. Or you can like erase something from an image, enter a prompt, and it generates an image for you. Simple. Well, maybe not simple, but for user it's simple. So Tripo 3D AI, it's a 3D model it's an image to 3D model AI model that they also have a website. You can check it out. Basically you can enter a prompt, it will generate a 3D model, or you enter an image and it generates a 3D model. And it has an API, which is good, so I used that. There's a bunch of different solutions, but Tripo AI is, in my opinion, right now the best there is. There are free solutions out there, but they kind of behind Tripo like half a year or a year in terms of quality. What were the challenges? So the lack of control that text-to-image gives you, the unstable results, so you can't create more or less stable results with text-to-image, so you could use it to generate like 3D models, and the quality. Let's now talk about how to tackle them. So the lack of control. This is the starting workflow that you get when you start with Conf UI. So here we see the node that loads your model. So it's either Stable Diffusion or any other text-to-image model. Here you enter a prompt. Here we enter a negative prompt, and that one generates a final image. So what I did is I went to the ChatGPT. I sent my photo and asked him to generate a text-to-image prompt for me, and I used it to generate those images. So the point is, and what I try to show, that basically it doesn't matter how good prompt you input, you still won't get the final result you want. Maybe actually you can, because I see that those images, they kind of look the same. So maybe if I spent a couple of more hours on that, maybe I would have gotten a better result. But yeah, we're not gonna do it. We'll do a different approach. We'll use pool ID. Here it's also a node that basically has an input for a model and an output. Output's also a new model. So we send it an image that we want to get facial features from, and we send the model that it will apply it on. Pool ID. Here are a bunch of results. So I think that guy looks pretty top-notch. I mean, like he resembles me a lot. They all kind of do. They're not as handsome as the previous results, but at least they look like me. So Pool ID is a technology that basically it's an adapter that kind of allows you to use images to transfer either your facial features or any other features like style or whatever to the final generation. So here's the sketch. Basically, I changed the input to something more appropriate, that I want to create like a not just a portrait, but a multiple views of a character. And here's a bunch of results I get. So in a nutshell, this is the prompt. It's actually a bit longer, but you get it. So it's you kind of just describe what you want. But the problem now is we get an unstable pose. And why is that a problem? Because we want to later on create those 3D models, and we want them to have the same pose so that they would start the animation from the same starting point. So like if you have different models, one of them are in T pose, the others are in A pose or some other pose, then the animations will be mixed and they won't work. So how do we fix it? The solution is to use open pose and control net. So here we show how it's used. Basically, we pass in the conditions, so a prompt, and an open pose map, which basically changes the prompt, but not like the prompt. You can't input it like in text, but it helps and it changes the condition in a way for the model to later understand which pose it wants to create, and the result is already pretty stable, as you can see. But now the problem that we have is the quality. I mean, those guys look pretty good already, and we can use them, but they don't have the I don't know how to say it. They kind of look like a bad image drawn by I don't know who. But I mean, I wanted a more cartoonish look to them, and they just look like hobbits. And so we solved that by second pass or the second generation and using instant ID, which is kind of same as pull ID, but with a different step. It's also a control net. You remember I was talking about the open pose control net. So instant ID is also a control net that you pass in an image. It reads features, facial features and style and so on, and then it passes it on to the model, and you get the final, and you take also the result from your previous generation, and it kind of adds on to it and creates the final result. And so here are the bunch of generations done with it. By the way, I was also creating a Batman, but it came out not like, actually I never got like a naked one. I don't know. I mean, like with different others, yeah, but not with Batman. I don't know what. Maybe it liked you that much. So. So in a nutshell, that's the whole workflow, but it's actually a bit more complex. I didn't go deeper into explaining all of the stuff, and I'm not gonna bore you anymore with that, but let's see the final result. So that's the image, but actually you already saw the final result, and that's the final 3D model. So what can we see and what are the problems with this model, and why can you and can't you use it? Well, it looks pretty good from first glance, but the main problem with it is all of the All of the shadows are baked on the model. So if you put that model in the 3D environment and you add some lighting to it, then it will be on top of those shadows, so it's not really good. But for the purposes of like proof of concept, it's I think it's okay. So why did I create characters with big heads? Basically, what Stable Diffusion and Tripo does is it kind of focuses, it puts the same effort into generating the face basically as the boots or whatever. So the bigger the head, the more detail you'll have on the face. As you can see, this guy, he also kind of resembles me, but not so much. But the image and the workflow were the same, just like a bit different open pose this image. So yeah, as I said, I worked on the app like 3 or 4 months ago, and when I was preparing for the presentation, I checked Tripo and I saw they already have a new version that solves basically those problems I was talking about. So we see those new models, they have textures are pretty good. They don't have any problems. They don't have any artifacts on them. But the main issue I have with them is they kind of look ugly. So I mean, this previous one, it resembled the person a lot better than that one, don't you think? But to me, like, it's still a step forward. I think in couple of, I don't know, maybe in couple of months, maybe in a year, they'll improve on that and create even better solution. But now already you can, maybe you can create a model that's not gonna use your face, but it will be pretty good. You don't really need to like fix it a lot. There's a bunch of smaller issues like there on the leg, but in the end the result is pretty good. You can use it like maybe as an NPC character or whatever. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. The model variations. So I was using one of the models, not Stable Diffusion, but like a different flavor of it. But there's like a lot more of them, and you can like create a lot of variations, like we see here, like this Lego person or this anime guy. So yeah, thank you, and go check out the site, and you can, yeah, you can, when you add the guy here, it changes the URL, so you can send it to share it, and it will open up with this guy. So that's it. If you have any questions, then go ahead.
Yeah, it's time for questions. We start from there.
One question. Thank you for the presentation. I think that might work really well if you create assets in isolation, but what is important in game design, especially visual design, that everything you create is created in the same visual paradigm, and it's not just the style, but it's also the level of detail or the specific, you know, the tones and patterns. So how would you ensure in creating like any new assets that it actually is coherent with all the rest of the game visual design? Because it doesn't need to be, you know, fitting just the specific description. It also has to, you know, match all the rest of the visual environment that you might come across.
So that's actually the point, and that was the main advantage I forgot to tell you. Basically, if you look at all of those characters that were created, they are all created in one style. So if you are using the same model and with more or less the same configurations, you will get the same style in the end. So yeah, I kind of get it that maybe you might run into problems with creating some other assets, but you need to kind of experiment with that. So I think it would be better to create, like, to have first like workflow for character, then a workflow, for example, for guns, a workflow for houses or appliances or whatever, and there you could select some styles, and if you use one style, then all of the characters, all of the assets will be of the same style, and they will kind of work and fit.
But as I said, it's not only about the style, but how you, for example, define all the technical requirements, because even if they executed in exactly the same style, if, for example, one character has several times higher detailization than, for example, other characters, it will be look very inconsistent. It will break the immersion of the game. It will not look very natural. Or, for example, in terms of the animation, if there is very unequal level of the details in the animation of different part of the game, it might also create a bit off of the perception of the overall fidelity.
But I mean, like, the animation is something you do later on. Like, those animations that I added, those are just like, I took them, they're free from Mixamo. So, but regarding the quality of the characters, all of the characters created here are, they have the same detalization, but they are not really, so if you are kind of want to use those models in the game, it's not the best idea because they are not like optimized still. If you open up and look at the map, and it's basically they look the same as scans of something. If you saw the scans, there's like a lot of points. They're distributed like just equally. It's not perfect. I mean, but if you're an indie dev, you can use them because you don't have a lot of budget, and you can use those instead of just like creating another pixelated 2D game or whatever. You can start like doing 3D stuff already. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You said like you don't have much of a budget. What's the cost of generating one?
50 cents.
You just spent 50 cents.
Yeah. So basically, generating the sketch is I don't know how much it costs because it runs on my server, so it doesn't cost much. But generating a 3D model costs like 30 cents, and rigging it another 20 cents. So, yeah.
And you pay through this Confi, or it's
no, it's on the Tripo.EE. So you add you get a key from there, and you generate a key and you use it. But all of those models, they were generated by people using their own keys. So you can input your own key, but you can generate free models on my budget. So I give you €50 to try and generate a 3D model.
I have a question. I didn't remember the format you used when you download the model. But can your workflow be modified in such a way that it produce 3D printer models?
Yeah, but it uses the GLB format, which is kind of standard for game models. But with, as I think STL is the format for the for 3D prints, you can check out this Tripo.EE. When you do download the model from there, you can select different formats. So STL is also available there, and FBX as well. So yeah.
Oh, it's actually a good business idea. You can do the same, but no, sell 3D models.
Yeah, I don't know, but don't use those Batman, or maybe the kind of stripper Batman. It's okay, I think.
Yeah, good question here. I don't know if you are, but if you would continue to work on this project, what would be your next big goal? I'm assuming to do something with animation. I don't know, do like prompt animation from like a skeleton or something?
Well, that would be, I don't really know how to do it because like, no, actually like what I wanted to do is to allow people to just create characters without the face. So you just like enter a prompt, you create a character, and then it would be great to create like some weapons for them. So a sword or something like that, and it would be a good idea. I also had like plans on how to do it, to put this sword to like apply it to the skeleton so it would appear already like in the hand, and so on. So that would be really good because when you're like prototyping and you need like different characters, a lot of them, and so on, you can like quickly create a bunch of like enemies or whatever with different swords and different guns and so on. So that would be cool. So yeah.
That's cool. Sounds cool.
Yeah. Thanks.
And then fight.
And then fight, yes, or dance or whatever with a sword, or whatever you want them to do.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you plan to monetize this?
No.
No? Okay.
I don't know how. Like, yeah.
Social media?
You know, like everything in AI is developing so fast that when that gets to monetization, it will be like already yesterday. So, yeah.
Yes. My second question was about if you plan to monetize this, you cannot probably use Batman.
Yeah,
Spider-Man, all those
no.
trademarks
Yeah.
are prohibited.
It's-
And then at my work, I know we work in a big company, we probably need to double check every time model generates you the intellectual property, you need to double check or repaint after that by hand anyway.
Yeah.
So there's a big discussion happening that what can we use it or cannot use it.
I think you can just send it to ChatGPT and ask like, is there something copyrighted in it? But then it will remove all the fun from it. So you just like, yeah.
Fair enough. And then the terms of use of those models, if you read about stability AI and stuff, they usually don't grant you they grant you non-exclusive rights to the content they generate.
Okay.
It means that whatever you generate with those do not belong to you. And that's another chapter too.
I read like through what was the name, the service that Tripo AI. So what I think the model still is yours, but there's like they heavily emphasize that whatever you generate, they never like will get sued for it, but you will. So, and you can't transfer it to anyone else. So if someone uses my key to generate something, then I will be to blame. So yeah, that's.
Do we have more questions until pizza arrives? Pizza is on the way, yes?
Yes, please.
Have you had other applications for the AI in game development to mind? I don't know, maybe you could force it to play your games to the play testing and catch out errors or test out the balance, things like this.
I saw like people running Mario with AI, but I didn't do it myself. I'm not much of a gamer, so it's like creating something, yes, but not like playing that much. So, but yeah. Anyone else? So, Kirill, how long did it take now?
It took the same time, actually.
Really? 20 minutes?
Yes.
I don't believe you.
No, with all the questions, it took longer.
I
But
mean,
we definitely want to thank you, right?
Thanks.